Għatu ċans lilu. Għax minn għarma t-buħa mux niskuċ. Hello.
So what's this credit?
We're talking about psychology and the effects of chronic brain injury in psychology. Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic subject for Monday morning. Have a good day.
ċans bejn ċanna raġun, ċanna skola oħra, klassi oħra, media.
I do. Was it 3 years ago, 4 years? 3 years ago. 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Well, good morning and welcome. My name is John Phillips. I'm the Director of International Development for the London School of Commerce Group, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here this morning on the visit of the Prime Minister of Malta. On behalf of Tim Andrade, the Chief Executive Officer of the London School of Commerce Group, and the senior management, a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests here today on the occasion of the visit by the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it was only 3 years ago that the Prime Minister kindly came and opened this campus, and we're pleased to report that at the moment we have 450 students registered from 60 different countries, including some of the flags portrayed up there. And in the last 3 years there has been over 1,000 students graduating from the London School of Commerce Malta. We have some special guests here this morning, and it's a great pleasure to welcome the acting United Kingdom High Commissioner, Fiona Maxton, the senior diplomats and representatives from other countries such as China, Tunisia and Poland, and also a very warm welcome to Mr. Godfrey Vella, who is the chair of the National Commission for the Further and Higher Education here in Malta. He's actually hidden behind the cameraman down there. And last but not least, Professor Mohammed Dusbaz, who's the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University of Suffolk in the United Kingdom, one of our very valuable United Kingdom partners. Now, just before I introduce our two very distinguished guest speakers, could I ask you to make sure that your mobile phones are turned off, please? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to welcome the Chair of the Advisory Board for the London School of Commerce Group, Lord John Tomlinson of Walsall.
Prime Minister, distinguished visitors and friends. A little over 3 years ago, the London School of Commerce Malta campus was opened by the Prime Minister in this very room. I'm sure he remembers the day clearly. It was a wonderful occasion, given the fact that Both of us have been in the European Parliament. We had a common background there. And though I'm a member of the House of Lords as a Labour peer, I'm also a proud member of the Malta Labour Party UK. And so it was very nice to see the Prime Minister in both capacities. A bit about the background of our group. The London School of Commerce Group is a global educational group with campuses and offices worldwide, including Kuala Lumpur, Colombo, Dhaka, and other campuses being formed in the Middle East. As such, we are very much a global community, boasting 30,000 alumni in over 130 different countries, with students hailing from most countries of the United Nations. Malta is the newest of these campuses, and we've had a phenomenal success beyond our original expectations. Today is a celebration of that success. In the past 3 years, 1,000 students hailing from over 50 different countries as far-flung as Venezuela to Vietnam and Kazakhstan to Korea have passed through the portals of this institution here in Malta. I'm sure that you will agree it's been a success, but the crux of the success lies not just in the numbers of students who have enrolled. After all, success is not measured in quantitative terms only. There is also a quality aspect. Nearly all of the students enrolled have completed their programs of study. And this is primarily due to the rigid vetting procedures that we adopt. To date, no student has disappeared across borders. We count the students in and we count the students out. And herein lies the secret of our good immigration compliance. There are, however, some logistical hurdles still to overcome, and we're very pleased to have had a discussion with the Prime Minister, with the Home Minister, about some of these. When the campus opened, the Prime Minister indicated to us his desire to make Malta a hub for global education, in the same way as Singapore. Quite clearly, Malta is an island economy, does not have embassies in certain key locations. For example, at the present time, a student from Vietnam who wishes to study in Malta has to travel to China to obtain the visa. If Malta is to become a hub for global education, the student experience in obtaining a visa needs to be smooth. I should say to everybody, I'm sure that the Maltese government understand this, and not only understanding, but are taking steps to deal with this. And for that, we're very grateful. The world is in a constant state of flex, with certain countries, trying to gain a competitive edge over others. The debate over Brexit in the United Kingdom, is but one such example. Even more so than Singapore, a welcoming European destination such as Malta has huge global opportunities in such a climate, and it is essential that we engage in a dialogue with the regulatory authorities to remove some of these bottlenecks that are compromising Malta's competitive advantage. Equally, it is important that the National Commission for Further and Higher Education and the immigration authorities are robust in their vetting procedures and only permit highly reputable organisations with an established educational track record to operate in Malta. As regard the next phase of LSC's Malta future, we are keen to take Malta qualifications beyond these shores. London School of Commerce was very closely associated with the initiatives of the Tony Blair government for taking United Kingdom degrees abroad. We currently offer UK degrees in many global destinations. London School of Commerce Malta has degree awarding powers, and we hope to take the LSC Malta degrees outside these shores. Today, a lecture conducted in London, or Malta for that matter, can be web streamed to be viewed by a student thousands of miles away on his iPad. A global education group such as ours, which has links in over 100 countries, is an ideal vehicle to make a welcoming European destination such as Malta a hub for technology-based global education. In the months to come, London School of Commerce Malta will be investing substantially in technology platforms for the launch of web-based blended study programs for a global audience. In the months to come, we hope to launch our doctoral research degrees here in Malta to attract even more highly qualified students from all corners of the world. In addition to the high levels of foreign exchange these students bring, some of these highly skilled graduates should also play a key role in addressing skill shortages that currently exist in Malta. High quality international students are not a threat, but they rather are a golden opportunity. They are future ambassadors for Malta. In conclusion, can I say that we are very grateful for the support of the Prime Minister himself, the Minister for Education, the Honourable Everest Bartello, the support of Professor Jeffrey Vella, of the National Commission for Further and Higher Education, and also of Adel Kassa, his predecessor, the former chair, and the senior executives of Identity Malta, without whose support this success would not have been possible. What I would like to tell the Prime Minister is that thank you for the trust that you've shown in us. Your vision for making Malta a global a hub for global education is rapidly becoming a reality, and we look forward to our continuing cooperation to make sure that we bring that to a speedy conclusion. Thanks very much indeed, Prime Minister. So I'm going to do him out of a job. I know he's the VC, he's the MC for this morning, but it gives me great pleasure to ask the Prime Minister of Malta, the Honourable Joseph Muscat, to address us. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Lord Tomlinson. It is my pleasure to be here to celebrate the marvelous growth of this institution in our country. The London School of Commerce Malta was established here a little less than 3 years ago. Since then, and in such a short span of time, it has gone from strength to strength, attracting already close to 1,000 students from across the globe. Such success does not come about by chance. It is the result of dedication and the passion for one's endeavor, and the dedication and passion about education, which is very present in this institution. The success also comes from making sure that as a country we are attracting the right initiatives and people, as well as creating the right environment to allow them to flourish. Since taking office, this government has embarked on its vision of turning Malta into a center of global educational excellence, a hub for global education, if you may. We have done the necessary regulatory reforms which, whilst ensuring the highest of standards, allow private educational institutions to flourish and adapt to the ever more growing global classroom. As with all sectors of human life, education is experiencing a radical change, both as a consequence of technological advances and easier access to knowledge and information. It has been with these many changes in mind that we have identified an opportunity for this country to really capture the future and be at the forefront of change. The success of this venture is testimonial to this approach and vision. As a government, we have always remained vigilant in identifying the right opportunities to expand our presence in global education. We have actively pursued renowned educational institutions which are leaders and will become leaders in their field. Our aim was always to give students flexibility and options to be able to achieve their goals. Pluralism in our education system was key to achieving this. We have been adamant that education can become another strong pillar of the Maltese economy, bringing with it not just direct prosperity, but also being the catalyst for ideas and innovative educational approaches. And it is in this benefit that we believe that the greatest reward lies. Being able to attract talent here in Malta, creating the right space for those ideas to be exchanged and for experiences to be shared, that a more lasting impact will result, both for us as a country, but more importantly, for our people. However, success also brings with it new challenges. We understand, as we have discussed during our private meeting, that dealing with the process of providing visas and the right paperwork for students to travel to Malta from all corners of the world can sometimes be too bureaucratic and negatively affects the student's experience. Unless we are able to meet these demands too and change our systems, as we are committed to change in the next few weeks, our success will be scuppered. It is with this in mind that as a government we have embarked on major reforms which will be announced soon, and the upgrading of our processes to ensure that bureaucracy does not hinder our further advance. Making these successes lasting will mean that we have to provide the best level of care to the entirety of the student experience. I assure that this government will never shy away from meeting these challenges. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you once again on your success and on the determination you have shown by reinvesting in our country, and rest assured that you will find a committed partner in this government with every step forward. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great honour and a pleasure to have a visit by the Prime Minister. Thank you, sir. We would hope that at the end of the meeting now you would join us for some refreshments in the adjoining room. And that's concluding the meeting. Could I ask you please to stand while the Prime Minister's party leaves? Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We can turn the phones on now.
Yes, I'll come. I'll come. Yeah. You associate yourself to another university for the MBA?
Yes, they're finishing with Anglo-Ruskin at the moment.
That's right, yeah, we're having some British universities alongside some more degrees. So we have degrees with the Anglo-Ruskin University as well as the University of Suffolk.
Okay.
So that you could maybe get the dual degree, and that's very attractive to students as well. So you want to come? This is Professor Jospeh.
Nice meeting you.
Would you like a coffee?
University of Suffolk.
Would you like a coffee?
No, thank you. No, fine.
And so, yeah, we are, of course, being a British, college, the British degrees are prevalent. And the key now is to have dual degrees and top degrees and combine more degrees with British degrees.
Interesting, you get some pictures.
So I'm sure that our regulators will be watching very closely.
We had the pleasure of Jeffrey's company at dinner last night, and I think you put the world to rights. So.
All the releases of that time. Yes, I know.
Reflection.
Introspection.
Yeah, introspection.
Fascinating story.
Oh yes, this is the acting High Commissioner.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Very well, very well. So, please rest assured of our assistance.
Yeah,
we will
yeah.
be soon announcing what we said.
No, well, that
Very
was-
important changes in our visa regime, so
Yeah.
it will be much easier, obviously.
Well, that's very
The
helpful.
limitations of the country are there.
No, that's
When it
very
comes to
helpful to
size,
us, we understand.
but we will be announcing some very important changes. Very well. So I need to be fed to the wolf pack now. So
Thanks so much.
thank you.
It's lovely to be Tim's son.
Thank you so much for coming. It's a pleasure and honor.
Thank you. Nice seeing you, sir.
All right, keep on now.